Hello and welcome to the OK Takes podcast. I am Matt, and as always, I'm joined by my fellow capo Edward. As of 8:38 p.m. West Coast time, I think we can officially say the Saints have broken the Bucs. So we're going to get into everything from Sunday Night Football, and then we also have Patriots Colts. We have some Packers Ravens and Bengals Broncos. So because of COVID protocols, the Washington football team and Eagles in a play, so we're going to have to punt them. If you don't follow the rules and you get the cocoa, then you're not allowed to participate in the OK Takes podcast. I don't make the rules. I just relay them. All right, starting with Saints Bucs, resident Saints fan of the podcast, Edward, floor is yours.
It's always nice beating Tom Brady. The Saints have kind of owned the Bucs ever since he came over. Funny enough, like I remember struggling with the Bucs a lot when Winston was there, but ever since Brady came over, I feel like we've really planned well for them. Obviously, we didn't have Sean Payton because of COVID, so Dennis Allen had to step in, but I thought he did a great job with the play calling. I thought obviously defense was outstanding, but still a lot of questions on the offensive side of the ball. So wasn't a perfect win, but it was a win, and we held the Bucs to 0 points, which not a lot of teams can say they've done.
Oh, yeah. Let's start with some shutout talk. All right, so the Saints handed Tom Brady first shutout since week 15 in 2006. That was Drew Brees' first year on the Saints.
That's crazy. You don't shut out Tom Brady. You
don't. That's only I think either the third or fourth time it's happened in his career.
Crazy. I mean, it feels good to be on the good side of that.
Yeah, because every time we see a Brady stat pop up when it comes to his career, oh, he's breaking this record, 700 touchdowns. I don't know what the next one's going to be, the most completions, like best passer rating. You actually, that's A-Rod, but like whatever there's a record, Tom Brady's going to break it. And it's just nice to get one of those.
It's a nice change to have him setting like a bad record, or not like a, like being on the bad end of a record like that.
When you get like an outdated thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
You get a piece of history. Like, oh yeah, I remember Drew Brees. That's right. That's right. He wasn't always on the Saints. He was on the Chargers, and then he came to the Saints. So you get some interesting history.
Yeah. I mean, but the defense was just insane from the Saints tonight. And they've been so good all year, but I think this was probably their best performance of the year.
Well, I mean, yeah, and we knew it was good because Brady was thrashing his Microsoft Surface Pro.
Well, the Saints had Brady flustered all game long. Like from ESPN stats and info, Tom Brady was sacked 4 times third down for the first time since 2002. And that's tied for the most such sacks in a game in his career.
Jesus, but you could tell, like, and it was really getting to him throughout the entire game. And obviously, we saw the blowups at the end. Like, I think he was telling the Saints bench to go fuck themselves. But you could tell that the Saints were in his head. They really were. And we had like Cameron Jordan and Davenport as well going absolutely bonkers. And Brady did not know what to do. There was no adjustments to be made.
Yeah. And then when CJ Gardner-Johnson got that pick to kind of seal the game, he was getting all up in Brady's face, like crossing his arms and smirking at him. I loved that so much.
Yeah,
they were living rent free in Brady's head.
He let the tongue hang. He looked like he could have been a part of Kiss.
Yeah, dude, it was awesome. Love the swagger on the Saints defense.
Yeah, CJ Deuce.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, it really was insane because you're waiting for the Bucs to become the Bucs. Because even now, you guys did beat them early in the season, but Brady still had 4 touchdowns in that game. So it's not like it was a lot different than this game where you guys beat them. But once again, we're like, what are the Saints? We were left very confused. You're like, that's a playoff defense. I don't care where you're at, you shut out the Bucs. You should be in the playoffs.
They should, and they have. I don't want to get ahead of myself here, but they kind of have a favorable schedule going forward. I know they play the Dolphins on Monday night next week. Then they who have won 6 in a row, but if you look at the 6 teams they've played to write home about, and then they play Carolina and Atlanta. And if they can hold the Bucs to 0 points, like they should be able to, the defense should be able to carry them to 3 more wins.
So yeah, it's very scary. Now, also, we do have to mention the Bucs for majority of the game were without Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, Leonard Fournette. So, like, yes, the defense was insane, but we do have to take a step back, just a little step, because those are, I mean, three of the best targets for Brady.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's a very fair statement to make, that, you know, when you're missing your best receivers, it's kind of hard for a quarterback to be efficient and to win a game. But on the other hand, Brady should be able to score, should be able to put his offense in position to at least get 3 points. Were at one point, and that kicker missed a field goal, but still, like, that was like the only chance they had to score points all game.
Yeah, there was always, because it's Brady, there was always the chance you're like, okay, now he's going to turn on. Now it's like against the Bills, we had the 56-yarder to Rashad Perriman to end the game. Like, okay, it's going to be the Thanos snap.
Yeah, like I thought it was going to be when it was 4th and 4 with like 6.5 or maybe more than that left in the game, and we had them pinned inside the 10. And incomplete pass, PI, first down. Yeah. And I was like, here we go. Here comes Tom Brady. He's going to lead a charge, but it never happened. The Saints defense held tough all game.
That was the most impressive. I think that was like the most impressive part of the game, is there was no bulls. There was no funny business, no bullshit.
Yeah. I mean, just business taken care of.
So yeah, pat yourselves on the back. You guys held the Patriots to 184 passing yards and 300 total yards. You're going to be one of the only teams this year to hold the Patriots to 300 yards.
Yeah. Oh, it's awesome. Such a good win.
Great game. And then offensive side of the offense. Wow. That was very brutal. You guys are mean for making America watch that.
I know. I'm so sorry. I don't have anything to say about the way our offense played other than I'm sorry.
Well, like, you know, what's funny? Like, one of the best plays on offense came towards the end of the first half, where they had you guys were pinned on your own, like 1 or 2 yard line, and they had like Taysom go through the scrum.
Yeah.
I think that was like, I was like, well, why don't you just do that again? Just get some scrum action in.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on. You know, it's a bad night from the offense when the most electric play from your entire team was when your punter celebrated taking a roughing the kicker penalty on and getting a first down. Like, that was the most electric play of the whole game.
Yeah. So there's still tons of questions there as far as like, well, what happened to Kamara? Why isn't Kamara good? Ingram really hasn't been that special since hopping back on the squad. So there are some questions that need to get answered. If there is now, if the playoffs are there, if that's it, there's no way you're going to get away with having like a baseball box score.
Yeah. I think there's a shot that the playoffs are there. Is there a playoff win there? No. But I do think they should be able to handle the Dolphins. If they can go 2-1 and finish the year 9-8, I think they can get the last seed and probably lose in the first round.
Yeah. At the end of the show, we'll do playoff picture.
Yeah.
And get into all of it. Yeah. So that's just insane. Saints 9, Bucs 0, got shut out at home. Nobody saw that coming. I'm sure it was over Central.
Just a really ugly game from both teams. But I mean, I don't care. We won.
Yeah. Never apologize for a win.
No.
All right. So now, next game we are on to is Pats 17, Colts 27. Big win for the Colts. So I guess what I come away with this game is the Pats just lost to the bye week.
Yeah. I honestly don't read much into this game because of that.
Wow. Okay. So you're taking a lot of stock in the bye week.
I'm taking a lot of stock in the bye week, man. I think the worst thing that can happen to a team on a win streak is a bye week.
I do think that, yeah.
There's, and I know this completely different sport, but there's in the MLS, the team with the best record gets a bye. And I know that happens in a lot of sports, but they have to miss 2 weeks. It's longer than most playoff formats. And just this past season, the team with the bye lost. So I take a lot of value in if I'm winning games and I'm on a roll, I don't want a bye week.
Mm-hmm. I do think there was something lost there. And I think it's bullshit that we're in week 15 and we're seeing teams have bye weeks. No. It's not supposed to work like that. No. The cutoff should be before the teens. It's like a bar mitzvah where no more. As soon as you hit the teen, you're an adult now. You've used all your bye weeks. Now you have to roam free.
Yeah, I don't know why there would be a bye week so late in the year. It just, it doesn't really make sense to me. And I think it really hurt the Patriots.
Because the Pats were coming off of the great Monday night win. They ran it down the Bills' throats. And anytime you have I especially think with a win like the Patriots, where you only throw 3 times, which is historic. But when you're going crazy on the run game and you're just out muscling everybody, that's a lot of momentum to be running with. And now it's just kind of curtailed.
Exactly. Yeah, that's, I don't know. I just think if bye weeks can really help a team, but they can also be a momentum killer.
Yeah, I think bye weeks you should be given a bye week or given the option to have a bye week. Like, do you want it? It's there if you need it. You don't have to use it, but it's there. So yeah.
I don't know if if that a joke or because I actually really like that idea.
I mean, well, no, it's a joke because it would never work because it would just fuck up everything in the scheduling.
True. Scheduling, but I'm kind of in for that idea. If they could figure out a way to make the scheduling work, I am totally in for pick if you want a bye week or not.
I think it should be one of those things where it's like, on Scrabble, at least the way I've played, where if you don't like your letters, you could take a turn to swap them out.
Yeah.
I think it's the same thing where it's like, if you use your bye week, then you won't get any advantage. But if you don't use it, then you should get a half of a win.
So a team finishes with like 10.5 wins.
Yeah.
I like that.
That would be fun. That would be very fun.
Yeah, that would turn the no fun league back into the NFL.
Well, because sometimes you do need the bye week. If you're playing really bad, if there's something going on with play calling, formations, and you can't get things figured out, there's miscommunications all over the place, or there's a bunch of injuries, guys are just absolutely dead, then yeah, you should be able to use it. But if you don't need that, like the Patriots were, like Mac Jones said, he was they started to feel sorry for themselves after the game, or in the bye week, which didn't make a lot of sense to me. I was like, why would you feel sorry for yourselves for winning?
Yeah.
But it was just a weird. So I guess bye weeks just will put you into major brain fog.
Or they should just have everyone have the same bye week. There's just a random week off in the middle of the season.
Yeah.
Where everybody has the same bye week.
Dude, as a fan, I would like that. I would just like 1 week.
One little one break, one little break. Bettors can kind of reset. Teams can reset. You know what I mean?
Pay off your debts.
Pay off your debts. Yeah. So get rid of the bye week because it really killed the Patriots.
Yeah, time with your family. Make sure your kids remember what your face looks like. Because we also need time to reset as far as the numbers in our head. We're into the thick of the season, and at this point, I can't remember any number. I'll be honest.
You remember the final score of this game?
Well, I have it right here in my hand. So 27-17.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Yeah. All right. And then getting on to actual the game itself, it was kind of crazy because the Pats were absolutely shut down in the first half. So it was another shutout stat I have is the last time the Patriots shut out in the first half was October 2nd, 2016 against the Bills. And in this game, Jacoby Brissett started for the Pats because Jimmy Garoppolo was hurt and Tom Brady was suspended.
Wow. Talk about another weird stat associated with Tom Brady. But yeah, Patriots, I was stunned by the first half of this game.
I was stunned as well, but I thought that the Colts were. I was never that impressed. And we know the Colts won by 10, but I was never that impressed. I'll be honest. I'm still a believer in the Pats. I really am, because the thing that completely changed the entire game was the blocked punt touchdown. That reset everything. Boom. The game was, I felt to a certain extent, the game was kind of won from there. And it made it seem so much more lopsided than I think it really was.
I definitely, though, did think in the fourth quarter that the Patriots were going to end up winning.
Okay, I know I had Pat's money line, so I was really disappointed. But you're watching the things come into place, and you're like, oh, the Carson Wentz interception to Jamie. He threw a pick to Jamie Collins. Yep. Finally, here it is. And then Mac Jones throws the pick to Darius Leonard, and there goes the game.
Yeah, I mean, just it feels like a game where, like, if, like we said a couple weeks ago, I can't remember exactly what the game was. Without that first quarter, I wonder how different the outcome would have been.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And now the thing is, though, they were in the game, so it did become exciting. And there was a time where we finally had very controversial to kick or not to kick. So there is a fourth down bot I found on Twitter. And it turns out that the kick was with 7 minutes or like 6 or 7 minutes left in the game. It was the New England had the ball 4th and 7 on the Indy 7. And it was to whether kick the field goal and then be 7 points away or then be 6 points down 6 or kick the field goal down 10. And the fourth down bot approved their decision. So they said it was a toss up and increased win percentage by 0.6. But obviously that was wrong. So I don't know what to do with this bot. I just found the bot. I'll be honest. Maybe probably could have saved that for another conversation off camera, but I just want to tell you I found the bot.
Okay.
But I do I disagree with the bot. So yeah, fuck the bot.
Yeah, I would have gone for it.
That was my Michael Scott. Sometimes I'll start talking. I'll start saying a sentence and hopefully I find it along the way. I found myself in pretty much around halfway point where I was like, okay, this didn't go the way I thought it would. Hopefully I'll catch it.
Hey, you know what? You got there. You got through it. Didn't really stumble. You would know, like, mumbling or anything. You got through it.
There was no
hemming and saying.
There was no hemming and hawing because I knew I would eventually get there, but I thought it would be a lot more interesting. It really wasn't that interesting.
Hey, I didn't know there was a fourth down bot, so I learned something new.
So shout out the fourth down bot. Yeah, so it was a very confusing decision. We're gonna get into Packers and Ravens next, but I'm all out on a war mode against the bots and the analytics world, because I'm sorry. Like the only way to win that game was to go for 6 right there, go for the end zone, because the Patriots were down 20-0 at half. Nobody's expecting you to come back and win a game when you're down 20-0 heading into the second half.
Yeah, I think you got to go for it there. We all know Brandon Staley would have, even though we were dragging him through the mud last week, or not last week.
Thursday.
You think that's interesting? I would have expected Belichick to go for it there.
Mm-hmm. I thought it was going to be the move, and I think that. So talk about like where the game was kind of lost. That's where we knew the game was lost, and so yeah, that really sucked. That really sucked. But then we also have some Carson Wentz. So I did want to talk some Carson Wentz because I do think that the Colts are better than the Titans. And I was saying that even before the Titans lost the Steelers today. But I do think that the Colts might fuck around and win the AFC South. But I just don't know how they're going to go far with Carson Wentz throwing for what, like 5 for 12? Yeah, he was 5 for 12 for 57 yards. And mind you, a bunch of those came off of a passing touchdown. And it was him just dropping the ball in hands on an end around.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been a big believer in Carson Wentz. I've always thought he was overrated. very extremely. And a night like Saturday night kind of just proves that point. Like, I don't understand how a team can be successful when your quarterback goes 5 for 12 for 57 yards in a game like this.
Yeah.
And I mean, they won, so I'm sure the fans don't care, but still shouldn't be happening.
Yeah. And let's be honest, like the only thing Carson Wentz was good at was quarterback sneaks. Because like because he had all three of Indianapolis's fourth down conversions. And so you're like, okay, that's good. So he knew how to get first. He knows how to get first downs, but I don't think he could throw for first downs.
No, but that's where Jonathan Taylor comes in.
Exactly. And he was solid all game. And then the last 2 minutes, it was like the last around 2 minutes and 10 seconds left, the levee broke.
Yeah, ripped off the big one.
That was it.
Just MVP him. I've been saying this for so long, but he could be right.
Yeah, I don't want to see a
quarterback the MVP.
I don't think anybody wants to see a quarterback win.
Not this year. I don't think a quarterback has stuck out this year.
No, because there's a lot of hoopla for Brady. There's a lot of people saying his name after tonight. Very different after getting shut out. So Jonathan Taylor, God. I don't really have much besides that. Is that he is he's a kind of a Thanos like himself, where boom, snap, and the game's over with one play.
Difference maker. Yep.
Yeah. So that's pretty much all I got for Colts Patriots. Do you have anything else?
No, I think that covers it.
Okay, cool. All right. So now we are moving on to the most controversial game of the day by far is Packers 31, Ravens 30. All right. So we have to take a stand on the 2-point conversion. Now, once we take a stand, we cannot go back. There's no such thing as going back on your 2-point conversion stance. It's like back in the day with Kenley and saying whose fault was it during like when he was blowing like the 3 saves like in 1 week in July against the Giants and the Rockies, where we took his side with it. We have to do the same thing now, but with John Harbaugh and 2-point conversions.
Go first.
Look, now hopefully agree. We will have to discuss. We really will have to go back and forth on this if we see it different ways. But you got to go for 2 there. I love the decision. I don't hate it. I love it. Go for 2. Be aggressive. Once again, you're injury riddled. Nobody's expecting you to win.
Yeah, right there with you. It's no debate today. I'm sorry, folks, but I wholeheartedly agree with you.
Yeah. And I saw one thing on Twitter where it was like, well, why would you go for, or why not kick the field goal and then just wait for the coin flip in overtime, because a 2-point conversion is the same thing as the coin flip? No, it's not. No, it's not. A 2-point conversion is definitely not a coin flip. So I do like the decision to go for it. And maybe I think this is something that is worth discussing more, is the play call. I don't know if having one receiver there was the best option, or because it was the bootleg and he was rolling out and tried to hit Mark Andrews, but it was defended by, oh my God, blanking. Darnell Savage.
Yeah, Savage. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Darnell Savage who cut across the field, deflected it. I kind of had I was much more mad about the play call than the actual decision to go for 2, because it was like we're having Mark Andrews double teamed by some of the best players of the Packers secondary. There's no way it'll work.
Right. Look, I totally agree. I love the call to go for it. At least I would rather put, and even though it's the backup, Huntley was still just balling, riding off. He ran in that touchdown to even put themselves in that position in the first place. So I would ride the hot hand. Could have set up a better play, like you said, Mark Andrews, but that's the guy I would have targeted anyway. So if I'm Harbaugh, I want to draw play up to his strengths, because he's going to be the target anyway. You're not going to target like Marquise Brown on a 2-point conversion like that. So I don't hate the play call, but I definitely love the decision to go for it.
I just thought there should have been more receiving. That's my complaint. I feel like there should have been more options instead of one where it's like if it's there, then you're good. But if it's not, he's covered. And it's Mark Andrews, who was on fire the entire game, and then with 136 yards and 2 tubs. So yeah, he's probably going to get covered. So I feel like there should have been an outlet in case he was. There was no break glass in case of emergency guy.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, fair criticism.
Yeah. So, I mean, Twitter is just a mushroom cloud of analytics talk. And it is kind of hilarious watching people go back and forth. I just have one question. What are analytics? Like, what are the calculations being made? Because Harbaugh said our chances are higher now, and which I agree with. Our chances are higher now to go for 2 than OT if you calculate it. What are the calculations I have to do? That's what I want to know is who has the formulas? Like who is the Khan Academy of the NFL world? Who has the formulas?
It's all a computer, man.
I know, but where do I get one?
It's a supercomputer that they won't reveal the location of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just don't. But who programmed it? Who's in charge of the coding?
Yeah, I don't know. They hire all these young analytical dudes that studied like math in college, figure all that out.
I get really, the problem is with the analytics, because I'm on your side, but I'm not on your side because you intimidate me.
Yeah, I hate analytics. I'm like Charles Barkley. I hate analytics.
Okay, but I don't mind. Like, if it gives you an advantage, I don't mind it. But you guys are just, I don't know. I feel like they're pretentious, and then I get really nervous because I didn't even. The last math course I took was pre-calc in summer school, and I failed it. So that's where my math career ends. And I don't know. As soon as you start throwing calculations around, I turtle. I hop back in my shell because I get very nervous.
I'm not an analytics guy. It's especially with baseball. I hate the whole lefty righty matchup. No, if my right-handed hitter is hitting 300, left-handed hitter might be 20, but he's hitting 300 righties. I don't care. Go with the righty. You know, like I like trust your gut, not the computer. That's how I am.
Mm-hmm. That's very manly of you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely, as I was baseball part, I felt like a 7-year-old man.
Mm-hmm. You felt like you were one of the first people to witness like Pete Rose break the record for most hits.
Yeah, I like the anti-Billy Bean. I don't like that. Maybe I should change my opinion on that because I'm definitely old head baseball type. Like I love bat flips and stuff. But as I said that, wow.
Yeah, it was like one of those, oh my God, I'm a lot more older than I thought. You kind of saw yourself age before your eyes.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Oh my God, is my first colonoscopy going to be next week?
Yeah, I saw my life flashing before my eyes.
Yeah. All right. And then so let's talk some Tyler Huntley. Insane. Truly, I'm going to throw it in the insane category because he did something that Lamar has yet to do. So Tyler Huntley in his second career start, first player in Ravens history with 2 passing touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns in the same game.
Lamar never did that?
No.
Wow.
No. Only Tyler Huntley. So now I would like to nominate Tyler Huntley as the next Teddy Bridgewater, where you are going to be a backup for a future team. You just, in that one start, you just earn yourself 5 or 6 starts for another team. Might not be the Ravens, but hey, bad timing, but possibly the Broncos might need a new quarterback next year. Panthers might need a new quarterback. So yeah, congrats, Tyler Huntley. You just got yourself a job for the next 2 years, at least.
Yeah, he looked really good today. He looked all right last week, but it was a short amount. But I mean, he really looked good today.
Yeah.
He's fast. He's really fast.
Yeah, I learned a phrase last week from Todd McShay. I was listening to him on the Rocio podcast, and he said greasy hips. I think Tyler Huntley has very greasy hips.
Yeah, that's fair assessment. Very slippery.
Very slippery. I don't know why greasy hips. Because I like grease because it makes me feel like he's a mechanic. I feel like he's describing the interior of like he lift up the hood of a car and he's looking at it. He's like, "Ooh, this is a greasy engine." I don't know why, but also hips as well because it's kind of anatomical and it's also feel like a little bit perverted. I don't know why. I like greasy hips.
It's definitely taken out of context might sound weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's leave it at anything that you could use to describe pole assassin might seem a little weird.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, all right, and then let's move on to let's go on the other side of the ball. Let's talk some Packers. So Aaron Rodgers is so happy, like scary happy. He shouldn't be allowed to be this happy.
I hate how good they are. I hate it.
Still questions on defense, but for the most part, they know they pretty much know exactly what they're going to do before they do it. And for most teams, if you miss out on touchdowns, then you're probably going to get limited to like 20 to or 14 to 20 points. The Packers missed out on touchdowns and they still ended up with 31 points. Like there was drop balls in the end zone.
Yeah. There were a few, especially later on, I feel like, to kind of really put the game away. There were
one to Allen Lazard.
Yeah. I mean, Packers really kind of I think they kind of got away lucky here. I've been on the Packers are the best team football train lately, but today didn't really do it for me with them. I mean, they won, so I can't really complain. Aaron Rodgers balled out, but still, it was just a really weird game for them because they looked really good in flashes, and then they had a lot of drops. They almost let the game slip away at the end. So, but you're right. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is happy and they're winning, so that's very scary.
But think about that. They had flashes. When we're talking about teams having flashes, it's 2 to 3 touchdowns in total. It's around 20-ish points. So it's a large-ish, but it's around 20-ish points. Packers ended up with 31. 31. I always like that's the thing that I walk away from this game thinking about is they didn't connect. And if they did connect, it would have been a 40 burger.
Oh, yeah. Maybe possibly more. Because, I mean, like, were you Jones and A.J. Dillon, like, really, really playing well? They didn't play very well. Like, no. I know Dillon had a touchdown on the ground, had one in the air, but from a running perspective, as a team, they averaged 3.8 yards per carry with a long of 11.
Yeah, and that was Aaron Jones, and they combined for 70 yards on the ground. And I'm a fan of like what they're able to do. I think I love one guy is more of a speed back, and like back in the day with the Saints, it was like a speed back and a power back. I love AJ.
Yeah, dude, I missed that team.
Yeah, exactly. I love the idea of AJ Dillon running in and trucking motherfuckers. Because I like his play a lot. Love watching him. Mm-hmm. But I'm more scared. I'll be honest. I'm more scared of the Packers. And I am going to drop to see where the wind is. I'm trying to see what the reaction is. I'm going to pick up some grass, drop it, see where the wind takes it. I think the Packers are going to the Super Bowl.
I think they are. I think they are too. I think it's going to be Packers Chiefs.
All right. I'm glad I dropped the glass or dropped the grass and it didn't go in a different direction than I was expecting.
I think they are the best team in the NFC.
They are very scary. And yeah, I just want to end with a happy Aaron Rodgers. He's giggling. And I know that, like, let's all be honest. It's very scary. When was the last time you saw a football player giggling and he was on the right side of history?
Yeah, it's a scary sight in Green Bay right now.
Yeah, it's like Hannibal Lecter, but then mixed with the Matrix because he's just taking a bunch of pills left and right. he has to be on hella psychedelics. I just use the word hella.
Or ivermectin.
Dude, honestly, what if he's just microdosing ivermectin?
He could be.
He could be, because when he was talking to oh my God, after the game, when he was talking to Aaron Andrews after the game. They were going back and forth, and he started laughing. She was like, "What are you laughing for?" It's like, it's just fun, just having fun. It's like, I remember when I had my first tab of acid. Not a drug guy. I remember when I had my first beer. Yeah, I remember when I had my first. Everybody remembers when they had first beer. Like, oh wow, smoked a doobie, Aaron.
Aaron Rodgers is having fun, and Kyler Murray is losing to the Lions. There's levels to this.
It's very deep. And just another hilarious quote that I thought he dropped was like, "Oh, figures." Is he said, "You can't wait to be at Lambeau Field on Christmas Day." Well, yeah, you don't have to you don't have to celebrate Christmas with your family. No wonder you're happy. Yeah. You're not missing anything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't like happy Aaron Rodgers. I like Jeopardy Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. I like not playing football Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
I like drama Aaron Rodgers. I like shows his foot on screen. Like he's Uma Thurman, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. Maybe one day him and Brady will retire. One day.
It's never going to come. Oh my God, dude! Like today, he tied Brett Favre for the most passing touchdowns to Packer, 442. What the fuck, man?
They're so good. I hate it.
The best. They're. I really do think that they're the best right now.
They're probably going to get a bye, and they're probably going to the Super Bowl. The road to the Super Bowl is going to go through Lambeau in NFC.
Yeah, you're gonna need to put chains on your tires because it's gonna be the frozen tundra. You're gonna have to drive through the frozen tundra, so put chains on your tires.
Yeah, they're gonna have to play in the 20-degree weather with pouring snow.
Mm-hmm.
But Aaron Rodgers will be giggling along the way.
Mm-hmm. He'll just think it's a snow day, like he's a 6-year-old girl.
Yeah, he's.
I wish it was. Yeah, I feel like it should just come down to a crazy snowball fight, like it's Jim and Dwight.
Yeah, it should just be a big snowball fight to decide the game.
Yeah, between him and Brady, that would be very fun. I would rather watch that, like an all-out war.
Yeah,
between him and Brady,
would rather like at like an airsoft like arena with all the little hiding spots, but it's just filled with snow.
Mm-hmm. So it's a mix of the paintball episode of The Office where Dwight goes paintballing, and then also of the Christmas episode where Dwight and Jim are throwing snowballs at each other.
Yeah, they need to just take notes from The Office.
Yeah. All right, so now we're on to the final game of the day. Bengals 15, Broncos 10. This was one of the scariest moments I've seen. So I didn't catch Donald Parham last week or on Thursday going down, but I saw the Teddy injury live, and it was one of those that just made you curl and kind of question if this football thing is a good idea. Like I really had coming like a true awakening of that doesn't work for me.
Oh my bad. I don't know. I come to what? I don't know what to call it.
Mordecai.
Okay.
It was just one of those strange things. You're like, oh my God, this is actually this is dangerous. I had one of those things that like everybody has always realized, but it doesn't matter until you realize it. That I had one of those that football is really dangerous.
Yeah. Anytime I see a player take a hit or any kind of injury and they just lie down and they don't move, like, because normally when a player gets hurt, they move, right? Like they're rolling around or they're grabbing at something, and you can tell when they're moving. When a player hit and lays down on the field and it's just frozen, that's when I'm like, oh fuck.
Because usually, at least, and it sounds goddamn, just now that we're starting to get into it, we haven't done much injury talk on the podcast before, but now we're starting to get into it. I almost get like a sense of relief when I see a player like pounding the grass. I'm like, okay, well, at least he's not dead, or at least he's not paralyzed. There was no pounding. Like his arm, that was the scariest part, is that his arms were underneath him the entire time because he was on his laying on his stomach, but his arms never came out from under him.
Yeah. And I mean, I think it's because we're affected by the oh, this is gonna kill me. Who's the Seahawks player that got hit?
Are you thinking about Ryan Shazier?
No. It was a receiver, a Seahawks receiver took a really bad hit in a game and I believe was paralyzed from it.
Okay, I'm not going to be able to come up with that.
Okay. If I'll try and figure it out, I probably won't think of it on the show, but if I think of it after, I'll tell you. But at least I still think about that play anytime I see something similar to Teddy Bridgewater. Mm-hmm. And it's just really scary and just hoping he's all right.
Yeah, that was awful. That was awful. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I really have nothing besides that on the injuries. It just makes you question if this whole football thing's worth it.
Yeah, it's bigger than the sport,
Mm-hmm. But then 10 minutes later, when he's carted off and you get the notification that he's okay and he's not in critical condition, you're like, okay, back to the game. Yeah. And so it's just like, and the cycle goes on again from there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. So I guess a silver lining of this, and hopefully I feel like I'm reading the room when I say this. I feel like I shouldn't get canceled for this, but apologies to anybody I love and I'm close to if I do. But part of me is okay with the idea he got hurt because we got to watch Drew Lock make an ass out of himself. I feel like that's not insensitive.
That's not. No, okay. No. Especially if he's okay.
Yeah.
I don't think that's bad.
Mm-hmm. Okay. But yeah, I'm so happy I got to watch Drew Lock make an ass out of himself because there is nobody who hates ball security more than him. Like ball security and Drew Lock is oil and water.
Yeah, it was really ugly. I mean, I love that pick that ended. It was like a fumble that ended up in another fumble that ended up not being a fumble. That was my favorite play.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I think that was the craziest play of the day.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And his quote after the game on it was, "You're reading the end. They brought cover zero. The line was stuffed. I took it on myself to run the ball. I should have handed the ball back to Javonte looking back on it." Okay, well, if you're reading it, then the chances are you have the same reading level as Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah, couldn't even read a page out of Harry Potter.
Yeah. Fuck the bucket of ice.
Drew Lock.
Oh, I really hope somebody gets that. If not, then it's only us two. That was a really great 50. That's probably one of my favorite 50 Cent moments of all time.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
You Floyd, one book of a Harry Potter, one page of a Harry Potter book, $450,000 to your favorite charity. Fuck the bucket of ice. Yeah. All right.
We're probably the only two people that are going to get that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, this is for us. Let's be honest. We're like half of the audience.
Yeah. This is just for us.
Mm-hmm.
We're gatekeeping it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We're like the Hall of Fame. Yeah. So as far as this game goes, it's hard because once again, we knew the Denver offense was pitiful. Didn't learn anything new there. I was a little bit worried that the Broncos were going to be playing for Teddy. I thought this was going to be a game you rally back and you play it for the guy that just went down and be in solidarity with them. And I thought it was going to happen when we had the crazy Tim Patrick mossing in the end zone. It's like, holy shit, we got a ball game, folks.
Yeah, I thought that too. Kind of like what the Saints did when Winston went down. They went on and beat the Bucs that game. But then literally, like you said, the Tim Patrick thing. And then right after that was the Tyler Boyd play. So,
yeah. So credit to the Bengals because they hit their home run. They hit their one home run that they needed to hit in order to win the game.
Yeah. I mean, like they couldn't do last week. They couldn't hit their home runs.
But there was only one home run today. And I know that Denver has a really good defense, but the Bengals are now sitting atop the AFC North. If you were going to take it to the next level and rally together for a couple wins in the playoffs, you're going to have to hit 2 to 3 home runs a game, because I don't see how this offense will be fine if Jamar Chase isn't going crazy, or if they don't have those wicked long play action passes to like a Tyler Boyd.
Yeah. I mean, right now they sit atop the division, but I don't, like you said, if they aren't connecting on plays, I don't see how they go much further than where they are now, which I mean, I guess is leading the division, but they're not going to win a lot of playoff games.
No, or any.
Or any for that matter.
Yeah. And that's the weird thing with the Bengals, is that like Zach Taylor after the game was saying, we sent a message to the league. Well, part of the message you're sending is that you could win ugly, but you win ugly, but you lose pretty. So it was really hard to see where the Bengals are at, because I think they play better when they lose.
Yeah, and I feel like I've felt that way about the Chargers lately, and like in years past too. I feel like a lot of the Chargers losses are games where they look really fucking good, and a lot of times they win are games they squeak out and barely win, where in their losses, like we just saw them play Thursday night, they looked really good in their loss.
Because there's no reason why we shouldn't be happy that the Bengals won, but I'm very I'm not satisfied with this. I'm sorry, finish what you were saying. I was gonna say like full Kobe mode, like job's not finished, job's not done.
Yeah, and I don't think they're probably not impressed. You win 15-10. What is there really to write home about?
Well, because of the defense, though, like that is the thing to write home about. That is something to be happy with. But as far as making a statement with the offense, saying that we could compete with the best defenses when it comes time for the playoffs, there was nothing that really led to coming away with that besides the touchdown to Boyd.
Right. No, yeah. That was the big play, but outside of that, nothing really.
Because it was bad, because Joe Mixon got hurt today, but even before he got hurt, he only had 58 yards on the ground. It was another bad game. Like the last 3 games he's had, it's been 50 yards today, 58 yards against San Francisco, 54 yards against the Chargers. And this crazy run that we thought he was about to go on after putting up 123 against the Raiders, then 165 against the Steelers, it's not there. And so depending on where it ends up with the injury, I think the Bengals should be a lot more worried.
Yeah, I mean, it really looked like, because one thing with Joe Mixon his whole career has been his inconsistency, and it was starting to look like that was going to be a thing of the past. Now, all of a sudden, it's not anymore. It's still a very prevalent issue with him, and if they have to run with Samaje Perine, I don't think that's going to work.
Yeah, and then it was very strange because Joe Mixon was shut down, and then we also have Jamar Chase recorded 1 reception on 4 targets for 3 yards.
Yeah, what happened there? You're not Surtain, man. It's the Surtain effect.
Yeah, it's true. Like the Broncos do have a really solid defense. It's why they're still in the run, still in contention to make the playoffs. But I'm very skeptical about the Bengals, more so than when I walked in.
The Bengals are an anomaly. I feel like they're a really weird team. They're not to be understood. I don't think. Mm-hmm. I watched them play and I'm like, this is a team that I feel like nobody understands or will understand.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty much like everybody's taste in interior decoration.
Yeah. It's not to be, you just got to go with it.
Mm-hmm. It might make sense to you, or if you're the Bengals, it might make sense to you guys and it might work, but nobody else has any idea what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. That's how the Bengals are.
It's like the curtains are a bright yellow and then the carpet is like a teal blue.
Yeah, it's gross. Mm-hmm. But to them, it looks good.
Yeah.
They probably got on the team plane and were like, that was executed exactly how we wanted it to be.
Mm-hmm. And defense, yes. Offense, no. So it kind of comes down to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to do a little breeze through the playoff picture. Start with the AFC, going from top to bottom. Number 1 seed Chiefs. That looks like that's pretty solid. It's kind of a shoe-in. Number 2 seed is going to be the Patriots at 9-5. Here's where it gets interesting. The Titans are a 3 seed at 9-5. Bengals 4 seed at 8-6. Colts 5th seed at 8-6. Chargers 6th seed at 8-6. Bills 7th seed at 8-6. There is no room. There truly is no wiggle room. It's
and
like
the Ravens are 8-6.
Yes. So that I have is just gonna that's gonna be absolutely crazy of how that'll end up.
Yeah. No idea how the AFC is gonna go.
Mm-hmm.
The NFC is starting to take a little more shape than the AFC, but yeah, wild.
Mm-hmm. One game separates the 7 and 2 seed.
Crazy.
Mm-hmm. As it should,
and Cleveland still to play.
True.
If
I
Cleveland
forgot
wins,
about that.
then one game will separate the 2 seed and the 9 seed.
Mm-hmm. That's a really good point. Yeah. I said my only take from this is the Broncos aren't going to get in. No shot in hell. And then I think the Colts are better than the Titans.
Yeah, I think they are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Anything else from the AFC side?
Just that I'm glad I stuck by the Chiefs and I never gave up. Just look at them now.
Yeah. True. All right. And now NFC side, a lot less wiggle room. All right. So we have Packers first overall at 11-3, Cowboys second overall at 10-4, Buccaneers third seed at 10-4, Cardinals 4th seed at 10-4, Rams 5th seed at 9-4, still have yet to play because of Coco. 49ers 6th seed at 8-6, Saints 7th seed at 7-7.
Yeah, look, we're probably not going to get in, but
it's not a bad schedule to get in, though.
It's not. No, it's not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm looking at it right now, and I think it's just going to be Packers. It's so I know I'm going all chalk, but for real though, like I just have to judge what my eyes tell me. My eyes tell me that the Packers are the best team.
Yeah, they are. They passed the eye test and they passed the on paper test.
Mm-hmm. There's no.
I think at least.
Well, I mean, the only test they haven't passed is a vaccination test.
Yeah, they have not passed that. No, and with their quarterback, they won't ever.
No. All right, man. Is there anything else?
No, I think that's it.
All right, cool. All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to OK Takes. If you'd like to follow myself on Instagram and Twitter, you could find me at MattWarner20. If you'd like to follow Edward on his Instagram and Twitter, you could find him at Edward_Vento. And if you have no care in the world for anything you have to say, then make sure to follow OK Takes on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at OK Takes Pod. That is OKAY Takes Pod. OKAY Takes Pod. Takes 2 seconds and will help us tremendously. So thank you guys so much for tuning in and have a wonderful day.